Why the digital world was so important to us is because my wife in 2018 was the most trolled person in the world.
When I first heard this, I thought, there's more to this story.
It's finally
There's a reason they're merching this narrative. Harry's little brain hasn't confused the years.
Why are you the way that you are?
He's following orders. So first things first, I reminded myself of public opinion of Meghan in 2018. Wedding, and even more excitement about the wedding. 27.7 million people in the UK alone and almost 2 billion worldwide watched their wedding, the most viewed televised wedding of all time. I was one of them. Let me know in the comments if you were too. I bought Harry and Meghan memorabilia. Let me know if you did too. Do you see where I'm going with this? If most of us who can't stand her today were fans in 2018, then who on earth was trolling her? And how can that add up to the most trolled person in 2018?
Liar!
So we all know how Meghan likes to rewrite history and tell us what we should think and feel.
Because I know that I'm a great friend, and I know the kind of mom I am, and I know the kind of human being I am, and I know how I show up. And I love being able to be that person with the people that I love.
So I figured she's trying to extend the timeline of online trolls, media bullies, and mental health concerns that she's already sold us in an effort to convince us that she really did try so hard.
I tried so hard.
You know, because business ventures such as podcasts and Netflix have proven to us, as ever, that she doesn't give anything more than 5 minutes.
Don't invest 5 minutes of your very precious, valuable time if you're not going to invest 5 years of it.
Then this clip surfaced, confirming what my spidey sense had already told me.
In a conversation at a remembrance service in 2018. Meghan leans into Harry, and I believe that she's saying, take advantage of this situation. And then she pauses and just looks around and turns back to Harry. And he responds back to her and says, today, Meghan is now directing the conversation in a way that she appears to be instructing him. She says to him, do it tonight. And she looks away as if she's visualising a scenario unfolding, and she's processing what she just said. Harry leans into Meghan and goes on to say, you do realise that this is the end? And Meghan responds, yes, I do know.
And who's surprised to see the proof that they planned this from the very beginning? We only need to look at what they've done since they've left. Meghan has given us all the proof we needed that she married Harry to cash in on her royal connections.
There wasn't an abundance of people looking to buy jam from Meghan Markle. This is so poorly done because there's no passion in it.
Meghan Markle sucks, as far as I'm concerned. That's my opinion. What I can see happening is people who consider themselves smart because nobody ever questions them are running this business and telling her to use a playbook that works for products where scarcity matters.
Yeah.
Confectionery scarcity doesn't matter. But you can just see, kind of a confederacy of dunces working on this platform that is just maximizing the value from her fame that came from Suits and being a part of the royal family. And they're just milking that for everything they can. They're not executing anything well on any show, on anything, but it shows how gullible a lot of consumers are. She was a fraud, what I can see from the beginning, who was just using opportunities to advance herself. Her brand wasn't one built on substance. It was based on using people, and this is no surprise to me.
Harry has wanted out for a long time. He made that quite clear in Spare, but without the spider's cruel influence, he probably would have stepped back in a more gentlemanly manner.
How dare you, sir!
So why does Meghan want to be crowned most trolled 2018? Well, because those damn bullying allegations are following her around like a bad smell.
I do have a source that is a proud member of the Sussex Survivors Club who told me she's still experiencing issues after leaving Meghan's employment. And the way she treated me, she says, of Meghan can only be described as dehumanizing.
So she's just trying to put the cart before the horse, cry victim a little louder and a little further back in history. Billions of people worldwide were cheering Meghan on in 2018. Thousands braved the British weather to do it in person. And the press loved her. Remember the Markle sparkle, the Meghan effect? Now for sure, she was the most Googled in 2018. I Googled her. Did you? Because no one knew who she was. But Googling someone doesn't mean trolling. I guess Meghan is confused, because she didn't Google Harry.
Boom. Roasted.
Of course, not every headline in 2018 was worshipping Meghan. There was the odd sensational headline, like with any public figure. Other royals, even Diana, have had to deal with the good, the bad and the ugly. But Meghan just can't deal with that, can she? For someone who grew up in Hollywood, an actress, she just doesn't get how fame works. And maybe they jumped ship quicker than planned because Meghan can't cope with any form of criticism.
Everybody knows that.
She can't be told what to do. With love, Meghan and her experience with the chefs showed us that. And she can't cope with not being number one, the Spurs wife. She is this generation's Fergie. Once the wedding was out of the way, the focus was back on senior royals and she just couldn't have that. And so like Fergie, she went and sold her wares on TV. And the polls show that she was popular in 2018.
What a fantasy timeline. Meghan's favorability rating was high in 2018. She had a 25% net favorability rating. In the US, her favorability was even higher at 39%. Today, a majority of UK adults, 65%, have a negative view of her. She has relentlessly spent 2025 trying to improve her public image. But between podcasts, Loose, Fruit Spread, and a Netflix series, there's been no significant impact positively on her standing. So, get your dates right, get your receipts. I think we're dealing with victim fatigue here. We're so over him trying to convince us that they are living a hard life from their Montecito mansion.
More popular than she's ever been because unfortunately for Meghan, the more we get to know her,
Authentically, organically,
the more we dislike her. But by November, December 2018, stories were starting to come out about Meghan.
And so my first stories, and this was really revealing to the world what was really going on in the royal family, because at that point, everyone thought it was some type of rosy fairy tale. And my first big story was what became known as Tiara Gate. And that was all about the fact that the late Queen had said, no, Meghan, you cannot have that tiara. Then, and this is the one that obviously became much more significant, Catherine, the Princess of Wales, had fallen out with Meghan Markle because of the way the Duchess of Sussex was speaking to her staff at Kensington Palace. The Daily Telegraph reported on the fact that Meghan had made Catherine cry at that famous bridesmaid fitting.
But again, this isn't trolling. This is reporting on her behaviour.
Now, I have very strong feelings on this woman. When I was reporting on her and breaking all of these stories about her time within the royal family, it did not come from any place of personal malice. It just came from a place of, I'm a journalist, I report the truth.
In 2018, Meghan had been blatantly breaking royal protocol. She wore a lot of black, even down to the nail polish. Insisted on going first, not wearing a hat with the Queen, sporting a beige wrinkled mess that would become her signature style, announcing her pregnancy at Eugenie's wedding, basically showing her true colours. So when mainstream media started reporting on Meghan's behaviour, the public started paying attention. The same thing happened in the US. There was a general victim Meghan fatigue that was elevated with a sprig of near-catastrophic car chase and flowers sprinkled with disaster tourists. Meghan isn't trolled or bullied. She is simply called out for her bad behaviour.
and I liked the idea of being able to be so authentically myself was
bad acting, and poor business skills.
and I just thought it was a joke.
So no, Meghan, you weren't the most trolled in 2018. I think Harry said trolled when he meant trollop. Treacherous trollop 2018.